Hello, I'm Jurrien Timmer, and welcome to Timmer Time. From my perspective, the markets are probably range-bound here. The downside has been limited by what I would call the White House put, if you will, not the Fed put. That one is no longer in charge. But when the markets went into a tailspin back in March and April, down 20%, those reciprocal tariffs that were very, very aggressive were walked back, at least temporarily. And so the fact that the markets are, at least think they are, in charge is one important variable here to think about. But as the market lifts and recovers, maybe the rhetoric becomes more aggressive again because there might be some confidence, either justified or unjustified, in the White House that they've won the battle and that the markets are going along. So obviously the tariff headlines remain an important indicator here, but the markets are starting to discount whatever they're hearing because the market is now thinking that whatever we hear today might be different tomorrow. And so the markets might have become a little bit more complacent here. And then on the other side, as the market does recover, we have interest rates, or long-term interest rates, I should say, bond yields, to think about as another hurdle. Really, since 2022, the market has been affected much more so than in the past by rising yields because those yields are now competitive with equities. The most important one, I think, up here near the all-time highs is really the yield on the 10-year Treasury, as well as yields on other global bonds. I mean, JGBs in Japan, Chinese yields, European yields, because as yields go up into that zone where interest rates or bond yields become competitive with equities, the equity market has to listen to that. And this is a very tried and true relationship that existed for many decades prior to the financial repression era of the 2000s and beyond. And so the idea is, and this is the Fed model, that if you take the PE on the 10-year Treasury, so the inverse of the yield, at 5%, that PE is 20. If you take the PE on the S&P 500, that's 20 as well, or 21. So bonds are competitive with stocks, and as yields go up, it's going to limit the amount of valuation appreciation that happens in the stock market. Doesn't mean the stock market can't go up, but it has to be driven by earnings, and those earnings might be offset by rising rates. So to me, that's going to be something that we've been focusing on since 2022, and I think that it will be with us for a number of years to come.